And you are live.
Good evening. We're going to call the meeting for Akron City Council to order. Our clerk will read the roll.
Baylor.
Aye.
Connor.
Aye.
Freeman.
Aye.
Busco.
Aye.
Holland.
Aye.
Kamer.
Aye.
Lombardo.
Aye.
McKittrick.
Aye.
Malik.
Aye.
Mosley.
Aye.
Neal.
Aye.
Amobian.
Aye.
Somerville.
Aye.
All members are present.
At this time, we're going to be led in prayer by Councilman Freeman. Immediately following our prayer, I'm going to ask if we can be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman McKittrick.
All right. Thank you. Blessed holidays to everyone. And we'll pray. God, I come to you tonight and I just continue to be amazed at who you are and how you would consider us. And the psalmist said, what is humankind that you would consider him? And yet you've chosen to look upon us and to show your love to us. God, tonight we ask that we might have your heart. And we know that your heart is a heart that looks out first and foremost for others, and that would be even our own spirit. Thank you, God, for the position that you've placed. Those of us on council end, we don't take that lightly. And may we serve our constituency even as you serve us. And I ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the
the
United States of America and to the
and
republic
to the
for which
republic
it stands,
which stands
one nation,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. As we approach the holiday season, and this is our last meeting before the holidays, we thought it would be nice to open up our meeting with a little bit of holiday cheer from one of our very own, Holly, our council aide.
Yay!
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy
Hopefully
holidays.
we'll come through okay. We'll try. Okay, here we go. And let it be with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our Father, brothers all let me walk with my brothers in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the morning now. Sorry. A step I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it be
Absolutely beautiful, Holly. Thank you so much. That's how you open up a meeting. So thank you.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. All right, we're going to proceed with the rest of our agenda. The minutes from our previously held meeting have been provided. Are there any additions or corrections?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Councilman Neal, will you second?
Second.
Roll call.
Baylor,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
Fusco,
Aye.
Holland,
Aye.
Hamer,
Aye.
Lombardo,
Aye.
McKittrick,
Aye.
Malik,
Aye.
Mosley,
Aye.
Neal,
Same.
Amobian,
Aye.
Somerville.
Aye.
The minutes pass 12-0 with one abstention.
Before you, you have the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Can we get a second, Councilwoman Baylor?
Second.
Roll call.
Baylor,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
Fusco,
Aye.
Holland,
Aye.
Hamer,
Aye.
Lombardo,
Aye.
McKittrick,
Aye.
Malik,
Abstain.
Mosley,
Aye.
Neal,
Aye.
Amobian,
Aye.
Somerville.
Aye.
The consent agenda passes 12-0 with one abstention.
Okay, thank you so much. We do have 3 public hearings scheduled for this evening. Our clerk will read in item number 1.
Notice is hereby given. I'm sorry, we have some people coming in from the waiting room. Since they're here for this, I want to make sure they. Notice is hereby given that the following public hearing will be held by the Council of the City of Akron on Monday, December 13th, 2021, during the regular council meeting at 7 p.m. Ordinance authorizing a conditional use to establish a child daycare business center at 734 Copley Road.
Mr. Antonucci?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, members of council. The petitioner is requesting permission to establish a child daycare business center at this location. The proposed daycare center, known as Discovery Point Early Learning Center, would occupy the entire 3,800 square foot former medical office building with an estimated 75 full-time or part-time children ranging from 6 months up to 12 years of age. The lessee intends to hire 5 employees initially, later hiring as many as 8 employees total. Child care services will be available Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. An outdoor fenced play area would be situated along the northeast side of the structure, which is behind this brick building. The petitioner states their activity-based learning and child care services employ technology partnerships, professional services, and other activities that support and promote higher learning. The proposed use should not be intrusive to the neighborhood, as the existing building is located along this major arterial and will be at least 78 feet from the nearest house. It will reutilize the former office building by providing quality daycare services that are beneficial to the entire city and will continue to serve a need within the community. Office of Integrated Development, Planning Staff, and Planning Commission recommend approval subject to the commission conditions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll go ahead and open up our public hearing. We do have 2 individuals who wish to speak in favor of this ordinance, and that is Andrew and Tanya. Just going to ask that before you bring forth your remarks, that you be sworn in by a member of our law department.
Those wishing to testify during this public hearing, if you could please take yourself off of mute and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth? If so, please answer, I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Andrew, you want to start us off?
Sure. Good evening to everybody again. I hope we are still doing well on our Monday. But yeah, kind of as I stated in the past, I think that we have a really good thing going here, and it's going to do a numerous amount of beneficial things for the community and to the city of Akron. And I appreciate everybody putting so much time forward on this. And here we are in our Monday evenings at 7, still on it. So I appreciate everybody's time that they have contributed towards this. But yeah, we are fully ready to go and supportive of putting a daycare here. I've been working with Miss Tanya for quite some time now, and she seems to be very dedicated, very passionate about this. And I know she's kind of make it a little project and run with it. So we like I said, only good things is what we kind of forecast, both economically, financially, and good for the community in general. So unless anybody has any questions, that's all I have.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Tanya Everett?
Hi, again, I would like to thank you guys for all the time and effort that you've put into and attention to this project. I think that, again, like Andrew said, it definitely will be beneficial to the community. It will bring jobs, also be a very safe place for people to be able to trust to leave their children, not just for childcare, but just for a great learning environment. I also think that not only that, the way the building will be redesigned is going to beautify the community. It works really well with the park that they are currently working on the corner of Ritchie and Copley Road. I have nothing further unless anybody have any questions for me. I'm open to answer that. Other than that, I look forward to working with the people in the community outside of just it being a child care center, but also collaborating with other businesses and other community service work as well.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Everett. At this time, we will close our public hearing. Councilman Fusco, what is the pleasure of the committee?
Yes, thank you, President Somerville. I'd like to pull the committee for a favorable report. Baylor?
Aye.
Kamer?
Aye.
Connor?
Aye.
Mosley?
Aye.
Thank you. The report of the committee is favorable. We're asking for passage this evening.
Are there any objections on suspension of the rules? Seeing and hearing none, the rules have been suspended.
Yes, thank you. The petitioner we've heard from this afternoon as well as this evening, and this is going to contribute to the community. It's good zoning, and so we're recommending approval this evening.
Thank you so much. The rules have been suspended and the committee's report is favorable. All in favor, roll call.
Baylor,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
Fusco,
Aye.
Holland,
Aye.
Kamer,
Aye.
Lombardo,
Aye.
McKittrick,
Aye.
Malik,
Aye.
Mosley,
Aye.
Neal,
Aye.
Amobian,
Aye.
Somerville.
Aye.
This ordinance passes 13-0. Notice is hereby given that the following public hearing will be held by the Council of the City of Akron on Monday, December 13th, 2021, during the regular council meeting at 7 p.m. Ordinance authorizing a conditional use to establish an automatic and hand car wash at 725 East Wilbith Road.
Mr. Antonucci?
Yes, thank you, Madam President, members of council. Kevin Hamilton, doing business as Classic Choice Car Wash LLC, proposes to raise the existing structure and construct an automatic and hand car wash and detailing service at that location. The submitted site plan depicts an approximate 1,800 square foot structure measuring approximately 50 feet by 35 feet up to a height of nearly 22 feet. It will contain 2 car wash bays, one for hand wash and detailing, and the other for automatic wash. The planning staff has worked with the petitioner and originally submitted and would be able to recommend approval with some modifications to their originally submitted site plan. Modifications include citing the 1,800 square foot structure slightly toward the west, so it's 13 feet from the west property line and set back 23 feet from Wilbeth Road right of way. The site is to be fully screened along the north and western property lines with 6-foot privacy fence, and landscaping would take place where possible. It's not intended that any car vacuums will be positioned on the property due to the potential for noise levels during overnight hours. Staff recommends the business limit operation of the car wash from the hours of 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. So long as the above recommendations are met, the proposed hand and automatic in-bay car wash and detailing service should not have a negative impact on the surrounding area. The proposed use is compatible with surrounding retail businesses. The Office of Integrated Development, Planning Staff, and Planning Commission recommend approval subject to conditions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Attorney Littlejohn, are you going to be our only speaker this evening?
I am.
Okay, thank you so much. So you can go ahead and bring forth your comments at this time.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm here on behalf of my client, Kevin Hamilton and Classic Choice Car Wash. We believe that this opportunity will create quality and affordable automatic car wash as well as a hand car wash. And then with the economic benefit of the increased traffic and flow to the area, we think it's definitely in the city's best interest. The building right now is a I don't want to say dilapidated, but it is an abandoned ice cream and hot dog shop. It's been abandoned for, I believe, the last 3 to 5 years. And this is just an opportunity to get this building torn down and put a car wash in place so that there can be some activity that is positive in the community. And so my client would like to ask the council to approve his petition for this conditional use. And if there are any other questions, we'd be glad to answer those. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Attorney Littlejohn. At this time, we will close our public hearing. Councilman Fusco, what is the committee's pleasure?
I'd like to pull a committee to refer this item. Baylor?
Aye.
Gamer?
Aye.
Connor?
Aye.
Mosley?
Aye.
Thank you. The report of the committee is refer this item.
Okay, thank you so much. This item will be referred.
Notice is hereby given that the following public hearing will be held by the Council of the City of Akron on Monday, December 13th, 2021, during the regular council meeting at 7 p.m. Ordinance authorizing a conditional use to establish a tire store at 1540 South Arlington Street.
Mr. Antonucci?
Yes, thank you, Madam President, members of council. BCP Development LP is proposing to establish a tire store at this location. The existing Nichols thrift store would be raised in order to develop the lot with a new retail store and service garage. The building would be oriented such that the main store entrance would face South Arlington and the garage bays face Waterloo Road. The 5,200 square foot building would be situated toward the northwest corner of the site. The 4 10 feet in height overhead doors would be located toward the west end of the south face of the building. The petitioner intends to operate at this location as R&R Tire Express, a regional provider of new and used tires and wheels based in St. Louis, Missouri. R&R is now expanding into the Northeast Ohio market area. Petitioner states that the hours of operation would be from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday. All installation services will be performed within the interior garage bays. The planning staff is of the opinion that the proposed use would be compatible with the surrounding uses, which includes an oil change facility across Waterloo Road and a new Penske truck rental facility to the west, which is currently under construction. The proposed tire store would benefit the surrounding community, providing jobs and needed products and services. Office of Integrated Development, Planning Staff, and Planning Commission recommend approval, subject to conditions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now at this time, we're going to open up our public hearing. I'm just going to ask for those who wish to speak regarding this ordinance that you be sworn in by a member of our law department.
Those wishing to speak during this public hearing, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth? If so, please answer I do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So we will start with Scott Robertson.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for your time. I think Mike has presented our summary in detail. if there's any questions that I can answer for anyone on the call, I'm happy to do that. And just let me know what I can share.
Okay, thank you so much. Is there anyone else on the call wishing to speak in favor of this ordinance? Okay, so seeing and hearing no one else at this time, we're going to go ahead. We're going to close our public hearing. We're going to refer to Councilman Fusco to see what is the pleasure of the committee.
It's like to pull the committee for a favorable report with suspension of the rules. Mosley,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Gamer,
Aye.
Baylor.
Aye.
Report of the committee is favorable, and we're asking for suspension of the rules.
Are there any objections on suspension of the rules? Seeing and hearing none, the rules have been suspended.
Yes, thank you, President Somerville. This particular use seems to complement surrounding uses in the area. There's 19 conditions in which the petitioners have agreed to comply with. We had reviewed the application as well as the plans for this, and we are recommending approval this evening and look forward to seeing this development move forward.
Thank you so much. The rules have been suspended and the committee's report is favorable. All in favor, roll call.
Baylor,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
Fusco,
Aye.
Holland,
Aye.
Kaner,
Aye.
Lombardo,
Aye.
McKittrick,
Aye.
Malik,
Aye.
Mosley,
Aye.
Neal,
Aye.
Amobian,
Aye.
Somerville.
Aye.
This ordinance passes 13-0.
We will now move into our old business, budget and finance. Councilman Freeman.
The committee has come back with an adverse report.
The committee's report is adverse, so we're going to take a vote on the adverse report. All in favor, roll call.
Baylor,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
Fusco,
Aye.
Holland,
Aye.
Kamer,
Aye.
Lombardo,
Aye.
McKittrick,
Aye.
Malik,
Aye.
Mosley,
Aye.
Neal,
Nay.
Amobian,
Sorry about that. Nay.
Somerville.
Aye.
The motion for an adverse report passes 11-2.
Planning and Economic Development, Councilman Fusco.
Yes, thank you, President Somerville. The report of the committee for time for 4 through and including 8. The report of the committee on 9 and 10 is to file. Those are the two petitions that we had just voted on for conditional use. Item number 11, there's a substitute, and I'd like to ask the clerk to read in, please.
The substitute offered is an amendment offered by Fusco. Ordinance authorizing a conditional use to construct an outdoor advertising display at 389 Fountain Street and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Fusco.
Yes, thank you. Excuse me, this is a conditional use that we had had the public hearing some weeks ago, and this is located on Fountain Street. The change primarily is that due to the height, I believe. Mr. Antonucci's here, as well as the size of the signage itself, which I believe the petitioners were asking for 1,200 feet, and I believe with this we're going to be at 694. And so with that, we are recommending approval this evening.
Thank you so much. So the committee's report is favorable. All in favor, roll call.
Baylor,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
Fusco,
Aye.
Holland,
Aye.
Kamer,
Aye.
Lombardo,
Aye.
McKittrick,
Aye.
Pollock,
Aye.
Mosley,
Aye.
Neal,
Aye.
Amobian,
Aye.
Somerville.
Aye.
This ordinance passes 13-0.
Councilman Fusco.
File item number 12, that's the petition, and time on the balance of the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. Time will be granted. Public service, Councilwoman Mosley.
File, please.
Okay, this item will be filed. Housing and Neighborhood Assistance, Councilman Fusco.
The report of the committee is to refer this item.
This item will be referred. That concludes our old business. We'll now move into new legislation.
Item number 1, offered by President Somerville and Councilman Fusco. Resolution thanking Annie McFadden for her service to the city of Akron and wishing her well in her future endeavors and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Freeman,
Leaders reports favorable. We're asking for suspension of the rules.
are there any objections on suspension of the rules? Seeing and hearing none, the rules have been suspended.
We are losing a valuable employee, and Annie McFadden has proven herself in many, many ways these past few years. And while they say no position is, or no one individual is irreplaceable, sometimes when we see some of our quality folks leave, we have to wonder about that saying. But I actually would like to open up comments, and I'd like to begin with Mayor Horgan, and then Councilwoman Somerville will come to you, and anyone else that would have comments, just simply raise your hand. Mayor?
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, before I start, wishing all of you, since this is your last meeting for this year, wishing all of you during this holiday season the best and good health. Oftentimes in life, you're blessed to work with people that you actually like. And I'm certainly glad that there was a motion for a favorable report. I was crossing my fingers there for a little while, Annie. Just kidding. When you look for good public servants, and whether you disagree or agree, people that serve the city and actually like to work with people, Annie has been an exemplary employee in the office and out in the community. And so, we wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And I know you're looking forward to spending a lot more time with that little guy. So God bless, and thanks for all you've done for this administration and for the city.
Thank you. Madam President.
Thank you so much. Annie, I'm definitely going to miss you. It has definitely just been a pleasure to work with you. But again, I wish you all of the best luck. It is truly a sacrifice, working very long hours, particularly when you have little ones at home. And so I know that firsthand. So I just wish you the best on the next chapter. And again, thank you so much for all that you've done for me and for this council. So thank you so much. So now we'll open up the floor. Councilman Fusco.
Thank you, President Somerville. Annie, you will be missed. Thank you. These have been some really trying times of late. The mayor and everyone basically on this call and beyond know that these last couple of years have been really tough, and it's great to have someone right there by your side that you can trust and have faith in. The one thing, Annie, you probably have forgot about this. I have one brief story. I knew Annie was quick and she could think on her feet and really excel and do well. You probably don't remember this, but whenever you were in grade school, I coached basketball against you. Annie, of course, being 5'11", I coached my daughter who was 4'11". And the first game we played, you guys, we won. And pretty happy about that. And then later on in the season, we played against you. And of course, you guys won and beat us pretty handedly. So anyways, I knew you were a quick study and could adapt. But it's really been a joy working with you, and thank you for all you've done, and you will be missed. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilwoman Baylor?
Annie, I'm gonna miss you, girl. I can always depend on you to call me back with answers to some of my questions, no matter how lame they may have been. And you were always very pleasant. I had a lot of fun with you when you were working on the mayor's campaign. Just meeting you and being a part of your life when you were carrying your child and after he was born and everything was just a joy. It was a joy to see you in your beginning stages of motherhood. And now he's gonna be what? Or he is 5. Oh my gosh. I didn't see all those years. I mean, he just took off, and it's just been a pleasure working with you. And I wish you well in whatever you do. And I know whatever you put your hands to, you're gonna do it with all your might. So you go, girl, and enjoy your family.
Thank you. Councilman Malik?
Thank you. And just thank you so much to Annie. You know, someone who is so capable and so hardworking, and it doesn't take very long for someone to work with you and realize that, and to just be impressed by that. And I think that inspires folks around you to work harder. I know that's the case for me. I also appreciate how direct and candid you always are with folks. I think that's important in government. And I think also, you know, just fundamentally, the city is so much better off for your service. But I know that that's not the end, and that there's going to be a lot of great work ahead that the city and the community is going to continue to benefit from. So thank you again.
Councilman Lombardo? You're on mute.
See how excited I was? Thank you, Annie, for everything that you've done for me, and gonna miss you. You're a really hard worker, and you know, you deserve the best, and just enjoy it with your family, and we'll hope to see you soon. Thanks again.
Councilwoman Connor?
Annie, I wish you well. We've known each other quite some time through multiple campaign seasons. And I want to say I'm so happy for you, because you will never get this time back with your little guy. So enjoy every moment of it. There'll be plenty of time to work later, but enjoy every holiday, every wake up and good morning. You will cherish those moments for forever. So best of luck, and we'll see you when you come back to work one of these days.
Are there any other comments at this time? Want to make sure that I didn't miss anyone. Actually, okay. Councilman Freeman?
Congratulations, Annie. And I heard a pastor say one time he'd never seen it written on a tombstone. I wish I would have worked more. So, you know, congratulations for having the good sense to take time with your youngster there. But the committee's report's favorable, and we're asking for suspension of the rules. Thank you.
Thank you. So the rules have been suspended. The committee's report is favorable. All in favor, roll call.
Taylor.
Aye.
Connor.
Aye.
Freeman.
Aye.
Fusco.
Aye.
Holland.
Aye.
Kamer.
Aye.
Lombardo.
Aye.
McKittrick.
Aye.
Malish.
Aye.
Mosley.
Aye.
Neal.
Aye.
Amobian.
Aye.
Somerville.
Aye.
This resolution passes 13-0. Item number 2, offered by President Somerville and Councilman Fusco. Resolution thanking Ellen Lander-Nisht for her service to the city of Akron and wishing her well in her future endeavors and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Freeman?
And the committee's report's favorable, and we're asking for suspension of the rules.
Are there any objections on suspension of the rules? Seeing and hearing none, the rules have been suspended.
Okay, another sad resolution here. And honestly, Mayor, I'm surprised you're not curled up in a fetal position right now from the two valuable employees you're losing right now. But we just want to honor Ellen, all the work that she has done, and certainly want to open up. First of all, we'll start with Mayor Horgan, then we'll go to Council President Somerville.
Well, Ellen, thank you for the service to the city. I'll save those position for a non-camera meeting to do that. But in repeat of kind of what I said, like I said, I think it's rare in life you get to work with people that that you like and that that they're going to work hard, and to know that at almost a moment's notice these guys were both pushing the agenda, communicating with the city. There's a lot that goes into all of that, and obviously it does take its toll. And it kind of highlights that pressure sometimes on family life, and certainly when they both had talked to me about this, I had really no card to play. There was nothing. Family is the most important thing in everybody's life, and so certainly very supportive of them being able to spend more time with those wonderful young children, and certainly wish both of you the best in the future. So thank you again, and God bless.
Thank you, Ellen. I'm going to try not to cry because I sure am going to miss you. But I tell you, there's one thing that I think a lot of people don't understand, and this goes for Annie too. There's been so much work in the background that Ellen and Annie have done. And I just want to thank you for that behind the scenes work. Sometimes you might not always get the credit for it, but the city is better because of that work and that time that you put in. So again, Ellen, I'm going to miss you. I wish you the very best. And I want you to be able to spend some time with your beautiful children. And we just wish you the best on your next chapter. But I want to thank you for all that you have done for me as an elected official. You have made me better as elected official. You have helped this council to be better. And so I just really want to thank you so much, and you will truly be missed. So we'll open up the floor. Councilwoman Baylor.
Ellen, I'm just going to call you the Spice Girl. You spiced it up. I don't care. When you come into a room, it just lights up and it fills up with energy, because that's what you bring. That's what your presence bring into any room. I'm going to miss you too. I'm going to just miss seeing you from time to time, and your energy and your enthusiasm, your smarts. I think you speak 4 languages or something like that. Very accomplished young lady. And same with Annie. I mean, the mayor was smart to grab you guys when he could. And now, you guys are going down a different path, but you guys have been such a wonderful impact to the city of Akron, and you'll be sorely missed. But I'm happy that you guys chose your families at this time, because it's very important to pour into your children, your values and things like that. And just like Councilwoman Connor said, you treasure every moment because it goes fast. But so I know you guys, whenever you're ready to come back to the workforce, you'll do it. But thank you for all that you brought to us.
Councilman Fusco.
Yeah, thanks. This is it's a tough one. That's for sure. Having worked with you so much, Ellen, over the years, and working in the law department, preparing legislation, working with council, working with administrators and such, truly prepared you for your next steps. And whenever I asked you to be that chief of staff, it was an easy decision, Ellen, because we had worked so much together, and I knew you would. You're one of those folks that your ability to say we have a problem, or this isn't going to work, or that isn't going to work. And Mayor Horgan, I see kind of smiling there. It's like, yeah, but the thing about you, Ellen, is you also bring the solution many times. And so, and I thank you for that. Like I had mentioned to Annie, I mean, these last 18, 24 months have been just grueling on everyone and all of us. But I know with you two and Ellen, with you in the room, you helped us all get through it. honestly, and not only council, but the city of Akron across the board, because there are a lot of tough decisions had to be made. And I know for both of you, this isn't your last chapter by any stretch of the imagination. And look forward to seeing, what's next. But I also appreciate so much your decision to spend time with your family. It's great. Good luck. Gonna miss you.
Councilwoman Connor.
Again, like I shared before, you'll never get this time back. Enjoy those children. When I see the pictures of Ruby, I just feel your heartstrings, not dreading going back to work, but knowing that you'll miss whatever achievement of the moment. So I hope you enjoy every one of them and continue to share those with us. Best of luck.
Councilman Lombardo.
Hi, Ellen. Again, just want to say that thank you for everything that you did for me. And you're another hard worker that, wow, is how many people are replacing you? 1 or 2 or 3, who knows? But, just appreciate everything you did for the city too. And best of luck with you, with your children. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Malik.
Yeah, again, thank you so much, Ellen, for everything you've done for the city, for all the time and energy. You can go through every part of the city and find pieces and programs that Ellen has made better with input, with thoughtfulness, with sometimes difficult conversations. But again, the city is better off for it. So thank you. And, I guess I should say this, from one attorney who loves policy and loves Akron and loves city government to another, I don't think I've told you how much I look up to you. So looking forward to everything that's ahead, and best of luck.
Councilwoman Mosley.
Thank you. Ellen, I am going to miss the pictures of your babies, but I'll look on Pete's page because I know he will post some. Go and enjoy motherhood. From one mother to another, you can't get that time back. You have a long road ahead of you. You're young. You're as young as my oldest daughter, so I feel a little old saying that. You have a bright future ahead of you. But do what's important now, and that's your family. So best of luck to you.
Councilman Freeman.
Yes, congratulations to both of you. I think if you've heard the one thing, everybody has commended you on the decision you've made and why you've made it. So Ellen, thank you so much for your service, and just trust that this will be a move that you'll look back on 15, 20 years from now when you're running one of your children's campaigns, because one of them is going to run for something. So when you're running one of your children's campaigns, and you'll say, one of the better decisions you made. So the committee's report's favorable. And with that, we ask for suspension of the rule.
Thank you so much. So the rules have been suspended. The committee's report is favorable. All in favor, roll call.
Baylor,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
Fusco,
Aye.
Holland,
Aye.
Hamer,
Aye.
Lombardo,
Aye.
McKittrick,
Aye.
Malik,
Aye.
Mosley,
Aye.
Neal,
Aye.
Amobian,
Aye.
Somerville.
Aye.
This resolution passes 13-0. Looks like Ellen has her hand raised. You want to say something?
Oh, absolutely. We definitely, I'm sorry, let's rewind. We definitely have to hear from both of you. I'm so sorry. Ellen, we'll have you go first.
Sure. Thank you, President Somerville, and thank you, everyone. It has truly been an honor and a privilege to work with this council in various different roles over the years. And I love my job. And as everyone stated, I'm only leaving at this point because there's something better waiting for me at home right now. So just, closing thought, I guess, would be that If there's one thing I've learned in this job, it's that we have a moral imperative to get things done as public servants, and to not let the pursuit of perfect be the enemy of the good. And I hope that, I know my work for the city has not been perfect, but, I think I can say that it's been good. And so I'm hanging my hat on that. And finally, in addition to just appreciating each of you so much and what I've learned through you about your wards and about the city, I just wanted to call out Sarah, Holly, and Dr. Williams, and say that I see you and I see the work that you do, and I appreciate you so much, and working with you has really been a pleasure. As a citizen, thank you all, and I look forward to, if anyone wants to join me for a tea party, walk in the park, call me, I'll give you my personal cell. We can do that. Thanks.
Ella, thank you so much. Annie?
Sure. I talked just a little bit this afternoon, but again, this has been, such an honor and a privilege to spend this time working for Mayor Horgan and under this administration. We've done, in my humble opinion, some insane amount of good for this city. We moved a lot of things forward. We definitely, went through some tough times. But I'm just extremely grateful that I was here in this moment of time to really be able to do this. And I also do just want to bring forward that we're also just very lucky that, Mayor Horgan is comfortable with elevating younger voices and female voices. And we really, we had some great say in what happened in this community. So I give, him and this council all the credit in the world with really, cherishing and lifting up diverse opinions, and that includes, people of different sex, different ages and stuff like that. So I think that's really important. And I think we came together on a lot of great things. So again, it's really, really been an amazing journey. I don't think by any means, Ellen and I are going to be permanently off the radar, but we're just really happy that we have this moment in time to do this. So thank you everyone for your support and your partnership.
Thank you so much, Annie.
Item number 3 is offered by Councilwoman Mosley, Councilwoman Holland, and Councilwoman Amobian. Resolution calling upon Congress and President Biden to take all actions necessary to forgive outstanding federal and private student loan debt and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Freeman?
Committee's report is favorable and asking for suspension of the rules.
Are there any objections on suspension of the rules? Seeing and hearing none, the rules have been suspended.
Yes, in no particular order. I will defer to all 3 of the sponsors. And why don't I know, Ms. Holland, you took quite a lead today. If you'd like to go ahead, please do.
Thank you so much, Councilman Freeman and Council President Somerville. This resolution calls for the reintroduction of an important piece of legislation that was introduced to Congress in what we've come to know as the before times. On June 24th of 2019, which seems like a lifetime ago, this piece of legislation was introduced by 15 co-sponsors and called for the comprehensive forgiveness of student debt, both student loans and parental loans and everything in between. This particular legislation was not unique. During the 116th session of Congress, some 80 separate pieces of student loan forgiveness legislation were introduced in both the House and the Senate. And these types of legislation have received consistent bipartisan support. What happened with this particular piece of legislation, known as HR 3448, was that it was not reported out of committee. The rest of 2019 and into 2020, of course, is, as they say, history. A great deal changed in this country in the second half of the 116th Congress, but some things did not change at all. Statistically, what we know is that 2/3 of all student loan debt is held by women. What we also know is that consistently, throughout most of my lifetime and many of yours, lower paying jobs have been consistently held by women. What we also know is that pregnancy, childbirth, and the time spent caring for children is frequently not time where student loan obligations are forgiven, and student loan obligations frequently fall behind. What this resolution calls for is a reintroduction of this legislation that would allow for forgiveness of this as a move toward equity, among other things. Between February and August of 2020, mothers of children 12 and younger lost 2.2 million jobs compared to 870,000 jobs lost among fathers. So a situation that was already very difficult for women who had student loans prior to the beginning of the pandemic became a whole lot worse. The situation is that much worse for women of color, who are said to have a far higher, deeper, greater, more serious situation with student debt burden that cannot readily be paid off. Forgiveness of student debt is a move towards recognizing that we have a persistent problem with accessible, affordable, and safe childcare that allows women to be fully and equitably included in the workplace. This is also a way of further stimulating an economy that continues to suffer as we continue to deal with the global pandemic. I want to defer now to my co-sponsors, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Holland. Councilwoman Mosley?
Thank you, Madam President. I echo the sentiments of my colleague, Councilwoman Holland. I also would like to add is to just think of the snapshot of 45 million people in the United States holding an estimated $1.6, $1.7 trillion in student debt. Over 3 million of those individuals are over 60 years old. If I'm not mistaken, I think you retire when you're 65, if I'm right. So you're talking about people, even after they're retired, they're still going to be trying to figure out on a fixed income how to pay back a student loan. And this is not about individuals trying to skip out on a student loan. We're talking about individuals who have went to school, had to take out a loan to pay for school because they're not part of the billionaire class. These are the working poor, the barely middle class families that are trying to make a way. And so as you're in school, that debt is compiling in the back. And even when you get out of school, if you can't find a job and can't pay on your loan, you now have to ask for forbearance, or you got to ask for an economic hardship deferment. Let's put that all into context here. So even with your loan sitting over here, you now have to go and defer that loan while you look for employment that may be attached to that diploma you just got or that degree you just got. And it's just compiling in the back. And you have an individual who may have taken out a $30,000 loan, but because now they have forbearances and economic hardship deferments on the back, they now owe over $100,000. This is real life. That's my life. That's what I'm paying on. I know people are paying more than me. I have a friend with a master's degree. She owes over $200,000, and she'll be paying on it for the rest of her life. And it's unfortunate. If we can send out stimulus checks, which were greatly needed, if we can bail out Wall Street, we can bail out Main Street. So this resolution, not legislation, this resolution is to call for our Congress and our president to enact a student loan debt cancellation policy so we all can get a kickstart here back in the United States. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Mosley. Councilwoman Amobian?
You know, I don't have much to add to what the councilwomen have stated. I work with a number of individuals who have taken out loans to go to school to get master's degrees, to work at nonprofit organizations, providing fantastic work in mental health and social services. And the pay is never going to be extremely high. And they have close to what Councilwoman Mosley indicated, $100,000 in debt that's just hovering over their heads. And I know after so many years, some of it's forgiven, But most of the work that they do, you would think all of it would be forgiven. And it doesn't make sense for the richest country in the world to not to provide an opportunity for folks to go to school free of charge because of the commitment they have to give back to their communities all over the country in so many different fields. So I certainly strongly support this, and I thank the councilwomen for including me on this legislation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Amobian. Councilman Freeman?
Yes, the committee's report's favorable and asking for suspension of the rules on this resolution.
Thank you so much. So the rules have been suspended. The committee's report is favorable. All in favor, roll call.
Baylor,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Freeman,
Nay.
Fusco,
Aye.
Holland,
Aye.
Hamer,
Aye.
Lombardo,
Aye.
McKittrick,
Aye.
Malik,
Aye.
Mosley,
Aye.
Neal,
Aye.
Amobian,
Aye.
Somerville.
Aye.
This resolution passes 12-1. Item number 4 was the substitute piece that we already dealt with. Item number 5 is offered by Mosley. Ordinance authorizing the purchasing agent, after publicly advertising for bids, to enter into a contract or contracts for the purchase of a 500 kilowatt diesel generator for the municipal service center and declaring an emergency.
Councilwoman Mosley?
Thank you, Madam President. The committee's report is favorable and we're asking for suspension of the rules.
Are there any objections on suspension of the rules? Seeing and hearing none, the rules have been suspended.
Nothing further.
Thank you so much. The rules have been suspended. The committee's report is favorable. All in favor, roll call.
Baylor,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
Fusco,
Aye.
Holland,
Aye.
Hamer,
Aye.
Lombardo,
Aye.
McKittrick,
Aye.
Malik,
Aye.
Mosley,
Aye.
Neal,
Aye.
Mobian,
Aye.
Somerville.
Aye.
This ordinance passes 13-0. Item number 6, offered by Freeman. Ordinance authorizing the mayor or his designee to apply for, and if granted, enter into an agreement or agreements with the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency and the Ohio Water Development Authority for funding through the Water Supply Revolving Loan Account for a water supply capital improvement project and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Freeman?
These reports favorable. We're asking for suspension of the rules.
Are there any objections on suspension of the rules? Seeing and hearing none, the rules have been suspended.
Yes, this would allow us to apply for a grant from the Water Supply Capital Improvement Project, basically replacing a device on the Kent side of our water supply that is used to balance the pH in Akron's drinking water. The interest on the loan would be, I believe we heard today, 0.65%. And with that, we ask for its passage.
Thank you so much. The rules have been suspended and the committee's report is favorable. All in favor, roll call.
Baylor,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
Fusco,
Aye.
Holland,
Aye.
Hamer,
Aye.
Lombardo,
Aye.
McKittrick,
Aye.
Malik,
Aye.
Mosley,
Aye.
Neal,
Aye.
Amobian,
Aye.
Somerville.
Aye.
This ordinance passes 13-0. Item number 7, offered by Freeman. Ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service, after publicly advertising for bids, to enter into a contract or contracts for the purchase of repair parts to rebuild 2 screw feed pumps at the Water Reclamation Facility and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Freeman?
Committee's report's favorable. We're asking for suspension of the rules, please.
Are there any objections on suspension of the rules? Seeing and hearing none, the rules have been suspended.
Yes, going to be replacing two what are called screw pumps. It has to do with removing sludge at the other end of our water system, at the dirty end of our water system. And I believe these have pretty much lived out their maximum life, and we're asking for its passage.
Thank you so much. The rules have been suspended. The committee's report is favorable. All in favor, roll call.
Taylor,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
Fusco,
Aye.
Holland,
Aye.
Kamer,
Aye.
Lombardo,
Aye.
McKittrick,
Aye.
Malik,
Aye.
Mosley,
Aye.
Neal,
Aye.
Amobian,
Aye.
Somerville.
Aye.
This passes 13-0. Item number 8 is offered by Kamer, President Somerville, McKittrick, Mosley, Fusco, Amobian, Baylor, and Freeman. It's an ordinance authorizing the purchasing agent or her designee, after publicly advertising for bids, to enter into a contract or contracts for the purchase of a community response vehicle for use by the Akron Police Department and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Kamer.
Thank you, Madam President. The committee's report is favorable, and we're asking for suspension of the rules, please.
Thank you. Are there any objections on suspension of the rules? Seeing and hearing none, the rules have been suspended.
Thank you, Madam President. This is a community response vehicle that is basically funded with issue 4 funds. And it's a vehicle that will help protect our men and women of the Akron Police Department, but also help protect citizens in our community and possibly have many different scenarios where rescue options can come into play. And we're asking for passage.
Thank you so much, Councilman Kamer. Are there any other comments at this time? Seeing and hearing none, the rules have been suspended. The committee's report is favorable. All in favor, roll call.
Taylor,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
Fusco,
Aye.
Holland,
Aye.
Kamer,
Aye.
Lombardo,
Aye.
McKittrick,
Aye.
Malik,
Nay.
Mosley,
Aye.
Neal,
Aye.
Amobian,
Aye.
Somerville.
Aye.
This ordinance passes 12-1.
Okay, thank you so much. That concludes our new legislation for this evening. We'll now move to the portion of our meeting that we refer to as our public comment period. Just going to ask that our council clerk will let us know when I see him. We have a Nicholas Cassiopo with us online.
Hey there, can y'all hear me?
We can. Thank you so much. Nicholas, before you bring forth your comments, I'm just going to ask that you be sworn in by a member of our law department.
Just take yourself off mute, please. Okay, and raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth? If so, please answer I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Nicholas, you'll have 3 minutes to speak to this body. You can proceed.
Thanks. Hi there. My name is Nick Cassiopo. I live at 41 Marshall Avenue in Ward 1. I'd like to take time to speak on a number of interrelated issues tonight. Earlier today, you heard from Chief Milet asking for additional funding for a new weapon of war to be used against the residents of Akron. Now, never mind the fact that Milet was sued for racial discrimination at his last job, and yet y'all still hired him. That's a conversation for another night. But only Councilman Malik had the spine and leadership to vote against buying a $200,000+ wartime vehicle for a department that already receives over $71 million in funding. Why are we funneling more money, more of the people's resources into the police department? A police department that is currently being sued for murdering Mohammed Isfan in 2019, a police department that brutalized Charles Hicks II this past April. The police department receives over a third of the general fund, and the city can somehow afford to shovel even more money into their pockets. Yet when poor Black tenants beg and plead with y'all to investigate the inhumane living conditions at many of the slums that exist in the city, it's like pulling teeth. In a matter of minutes, you all will fork over hundreds of thousands of dollars to the police department for a weapon of war. But we ask the city to do its job and expect Wilbeth, Arlington, and Erickson slums, in which children are literally dying from the horrible living conditions. The city has the audacity to tell tenants they have to pay for it. You all just voted for a vehicle that costs at least $200,000, but are going to force a bunch of poor people to foot the $26,000 bill to have their units inspected. Make this make sense. What you and your colleagues' actions tell me is that this city prioritizes a wartime vehicle over the habitable living conditions of women and children. We were calling in last year asking you all and the mayor to take meaningful action on the eviction crisis and housing issues, and yet you have done nothing and even have the audacity to act surprised every time someone says this is an issue. Even now, your housing department officials would rather spend their time clearing homeless encampments than dealing with the lack of safe, accessible, and affordable housing. These officials spend their time harassing and fining people who shelter homeless people, rather than actually holding slumlords accountable for failing to provide safe housing to their tenants. Rather than fine Sage Lewis, who is doing a better job of housing people than the city, why don't you all, Mayor Horrigan and you, Francia Lash, devote actual energy and resources to making sure tenants have safe, accessible, affordable housing? So instead of ignoring these concerns as usual, I would like to know what each of you are concretely doing to address the housing crisis in Akron. I don't want to hear about your feelings or meetings or gathering more information, or that this is the first time you've heard about this. I want to know what you are doing right now to ensure that millions of actual dollars and actual resources will actually go to expanding affordable housing and making housing safe and accessible for everyone. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Nicholas, for joining us on this evening. We'll now close our public comment period and we'll move into our committee assignments. Planning and Economic Development, Councilman Fusco.
1.
Parks and Rec, Councilman Neal.
145.
Rules, Councilman Freeman.
2 o'clock.
Public Service, Councilwoman Mosley. Public Service, Councilwoman Mosley.
Yeah.
Thank you. Public Safety, Councilman Kamer.
215.
Health and Social Services, Councilwoman Amobian.
2:30.
Public Utilities and Green Committee, Councilman Freeman.
2:45.
Budget and Finance, Councilman Freeman.
3 p.m.
Housing and Neighborhood Assistance, Councilman Fusco.
3:15.
Thank you. Is there anything else coming before council at this time? Councilman Kamer?
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to recognize Councilman Jeff Fusco for organizing the tour last week of the Wilbeth, Arlington, and Erickson apartments. I know some of our colleagues joined us on that tour, so thank you, colleagues, for meeting us out there last week. And I just wanted to thank Councilman Fusco for taking that lead and reaching out to the individuals so we can take a look at some of those apartments out there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilman Kamer. Councilman Neal?
Thank you, Madam Chair. When we get back from break, we'll be going into the city's budget. I think it's important for us as a council to have a definition on what equity is and to have an understanding of what metrics we're going to use to make sure that when we oversee the budget, this isn't ARPA funds, we're asking for equitable investment in ARPA funds, but that we as a council have an understanding of what equity is and what metrics we're going to use to make sure that there is equitable investment. Equitable investment doesn't mean giving the same amount to every ward. It means giving, investing in wards to the capacity to bring equality across the board. And we need to make sure that we have that in place so that we can do that. I also have a concern about just I think we need to do a capacity study across the board to see if we have the ability to fulfill not just our present responsibilities, but those that we're saying we want to do with the ARPA funds and with the infrastructure bill that's coming behind it. I had a constituent come up to me asking if there was any money for housing rehab. And I said, well, why don't you start with the lead abatement? He said he's been approved for the lead abatement, but he's a year to a year and a half away before they could get to his house. We don't have the capacity to do some of the work that's already on our books. And this is a challenge that's across the board, wherever you are in any industry. Government is no different. But I believe we need to do a capacity study to see where we need to form true collaborations with and find new partners in the community so that we can fulfill the promises that we're making to our constituents. And then last but not least, I know every time there's a census, we take a look at our wards. We lost 10,000 people, so now we're down to about 190. I think our charter calls for each ward to have 20,000 people. This is a chance for us as a council to look at, as we talk about reimagining, what that looks like. And then last but not least, when we talk about these ARPA funds, I know we all have to know what's been going on in our schools, the challenges facing our youth. I think it behooves us early within the month of January to have a meeting with the school board to see where we can collaborate in the spending of their ARPA funds, our ARPA funds. It's not enough to just think of broadband. I mean, our schools are facing some real challenges that are spilling into them from our community, and we need to see how we can best collaborate to support our children and our teachers.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Councilman Neal. Councilman Malik?
Thank you, Madam President. Councilman Neal's end was a great segue, because I just want to take a moment as we recognize our departing colleagues here to also recognize some of the folks departing the school board who ended their service today, this evening. Patrick Bravo and Lisa Mansfield, Lisa served for 12 years and Patrick served for 10 years, I believe, if I have that right. And both of them have worked with many of the people on this call and worked throughout our community to try to improve our community and have been great supporters of the city. So just wanted to thank them for their service and look forward to working with the folks who are on the school board now.
Thank you, Councilman Malik. Councilman Freeman?
Yes, normally don't do this, but I just wanted to chime in. If anybody listened to the Public Safety Committee meeting today, how an individual could come up with the term an instrument of war or a vehicle of war, as we heard a few minutes ago, obviously you did not listen. This is what we voted on today and approved today is, 100% for the safety of citizenry. It's also for the safety of safety forces. And I do have a problem when somebody calls in and tries to impugn the character of our police chief. This man was vetted. We looked at him over and over and over again and decided, now this is a good man to be the leader of our safety forces. So Akron Police Department. So normally don't chime in on that stuff, but I don't like to sit by when outlandish remarks are made. So Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Councilman Freeman. Councilwoman Holland?
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to echo a few of the comments that have already been made, including to express my thanks both to Councilman Fusco, but also to Dee McCall and Admikia Minter and the folks of Freedom Block who made sure that a few of us had the opportunity to see the Erickson apartments and to see the Arlington Wilbeth apartments, to give us that opportunity to see. There are so many things in this city that are crying for our attention. And I believe I can safely speak for my colleagues here tonight when I say no one here wants to be in a position to be buying equipment that is designed to block high velocity bullets of the sort we'd expect to see in the Middle East. This is not how we saw our experience of our beloved city. But these are trying times, these are difficult times, and these are difficult decisions to make. I speak out every chance I can for more process, for more expansive process, for an opportunity for all to be heard, all to speak, and all to listen, and I will never stop doing that. But I believe that what we have is a team in this city that can continue to work toward doing the right thing in every corner. And right now there are many corners. And so I guess what I'd like to leave with is the idea that we have a small break here, but it's a very small break indeed. The work is big, and it's not just the work of government, it's the work of the community too. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Mosley.
Thank you, Council President Somerville. I want to first wish everyone a happy holidays, whether that's you celebrating Christmas, Kwanzaa, or Hanukkah. I wish you all a blessed holiday season. But I also, too, want to echo what my colleagues have stated. I am confident that our new chief is here to do the right thing, and that is why we supported him on this legislation. The things of yesterday are not that of today. What we went through as youngsters, whether we are 70s or 80s babies or 90s babies, it is a different time that we live in. It's a different community. It's a different neighborhood. Some of these very neighborhoods that we grew up in, you can't even walk down those streets anymore without feeling anxiety because the neighborhoods have changed so much. The weapons have changed. We have brought in countless pieces of resolutions, sending them down to Columbus, like Councilman Fusco stated earlier today, urging them to do something about these weapons of war. So if we want to talk about things of war, let's talk about these weapons of war. That's where the problem lies. And I appreciate the residents who call in who have concerns, and they're allowed to have those concerns. But I'm telling you from someone who has lived it every day. I live in that neighborhood. I grew up in that neighborhood. My family lives in that neighborhood. I've been on both sides of violence in those neighborhoods. Something has to give here. And if that means that we have to do things to keep everyone safe, this is not about just keeping police safe. This is about keeping everyone safe. And if that's what we have to do to restore some peace in those neighborhoods, then that's what we do. Because I'm telling you, in the ward that I represent, the residents are not going to be mad. They want to feel safe, and they don't feel safe right now. So I commend the chief for being proactive. He came in and jumped in both feet first. He sat with all of us. He talked to us about our concerns in our neighborhoods and what we would like to see and what were our top priorities. We've never had that before. So those residents who have concerns and want to go back to yesterday and pull stuff up, we all have something there. Give them a chance. Give them a chance to prove us all right. Just give him a chance. We've got to at least do that. He deserves at least that. And lastly, I want to thank Councilwoman Amobian for pitch hitting for me. The last few weeks I've been under the weather, and Councilman Fusco for taking the initiative with Wilbeth and Erickson. I really appreciate you for that. I appreciate you for jumping on a call with those owners of those buildings. And us being able to really do some good work over there, much needed, long overdue work. I think we'll be able to do that. So again, happy holidays to you all.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman. Councilman Fusco?
Yeah, thank you, President Somerville. And it's just the beginning steps. Mr. Kamer's got a meeting with the owners tomorrow. Tara had a meeting last week, as mentioned earlier. And we're hoping to have the owners and managers in the housing committee next month. We are taking this very seriously. We are moving forward. However, though, whenever there's federal funds involved, as there is in this case, we've got to make sure we educate ourselves on all the issues before any decisions are made. So that's what this is, I think, a data collection type piece. And that's hence the reason for the meeting last week, or the tour last week. And thanks for setting that up. Everyone for attending as well. And in terms of Chief Milet, I've not seen a chief in recent memory that proactive, going to every council member and educating all of us in terms of what the needs are out there in terms of this particular case. I understand and I empathize and I appreciate Mr. Malik's stance on this, that it's in circles out there in Akron, there's going to be concern about seeing something like this. I appreciate that. And what was said earlier in the process, as Ms. Holland said, but like I said, not in my memory have I seen a chief this proactive. So we're looking forward to more ideas. We're looking forward to protecting our citizens even more. Thank you all, and have a good and safe holiday season. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else coming before council? If not, we do want to wish everyone a happy holiday, and we look forward to seeing you in the new year as we begin recess. So we will be back on January 3rd. If there's nothing else, can we get a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, if there are no objections, meeting adjourned.
Concludes the live broadcast of Akron City Council. Margot Somerville, President of Council.